Peter, Martine, Bina, and Bina, thank you all so much for being here today to talk about Love Machina. Martine and Bina, I want to start with you because it's very clear watching this film that you two love each other deeply and wanted to preserve your love. But when you were first coming up with this idea and first developing Mind Files, what led you to this idea to preserve your love?
Thanks for the question. We're happy to be here. You know, everything was kind of serendipitous and an example of like, if you take a step, the path will appear. We had no like grand scheme when we began. We had read Ray Kurzweil's book, The Singularity is Near, where he explained that with the exponential increase in technology, by the 2020s, there would be the ChatGPT technology that we have now. And then by the 2030s, AIs would be able to reflect all of the capabilities, the personality, the intelligence of a human mind. So we said, whoa, that's like amazing. And he's a great scientist and it seemed very logical. Why don't we start to build up our mind files now when we have all of these memories and experiences and we're able to like do, first person video and everything of it all. And then in the 2020s, 2030s, when the ChatGPT technology is able to recapitulate our entire consciousness, all of the mind files for that consciousness will already exist. And so that's how we started with Mind Files. And then by serendipity, we ran into David Hansen, who builds these lifelike robots, a guy who has 1 degree from MIT, another degree from Rhode Island School of Design, created this skin-like texture called flubber. I said to David, could you make a robot of my beautiful wife, Bina? Because she is freaking beautiful. And he said, yeah, let's go for it. And that's how it happened.
And you were like, yeah, let's do it. That was the plan. You were on board with a robot from the beginning.
Well, it's just like we always have a lot of goals in our life. So that was just another one. Can we do this? And we make that a goal, we'll do it. And over time, yes, we managed it. So that's how we are.
And obviously you had an idea of where AI was going to go, but now as the conversation around AI has evolved and we've seen some of its capabilities that have developed so quickly, would you do anything differently in terms of how you were developing it if you were starting today?
No, I don't think we would do anything differently. It's a kind of a curse and a blessing of being a futurist. And I'll own that like futurist title, both of us will. But in the 1990s, like the film shows, Love Machina shows, we were already talking about genderqueer bathrooms and no need to like separate everybody into male and female and you could be non-binary. And that all turned out good. And then like in the aughts, we're talking about satellite radio. Everybody should be able to receive endless channels right in their car, or wherever they are. That all turned out good. So when Ray Kurzweil, who's a much smarter futurist than we are, laid out all of these proofs from dozens of studies and charts that ChatGPT technology was coming in the 20s, he was spot on. He predicted this in 2000, and here we are in like 2024, and he's exactly spot on. So I'm completely convinced that we're going to continue riding this curve. ChatGPT technology, AI technology is going to get better and better. By the 2030s, we'll be able to have a digital replica of each of us that copies our whole abilities. They'll be streaming ourselves through our smartphones and our watches and our Ray-Ban Meta glasses and whatnot, and constantly updating our mind file every day. And should we end up like, in a car accident or when our bodies degrade and whatnot, we'll be able to continue living as digital doppelgangers, screening Sundance films and having all types of fun.
Peter, how did you come aboard this project and really get to know Martine and Bina? And how long were you working with both of them? And
Sure. So we got an email, Brendan Doyle, the producer, and I got an email about possibly filming an AI that wanted to go to college. And I guess at some point, Bina48 had asked to go to college. And so Bruce Duncan, who's the director of the Terrorism Movement Foundation, he somehow enrolled Bina48 in college. And we got to go and start filming that. And then that was really just the tip of the iceberg. Bina48 was sort of a window into this incredible world that Bina and Martine have created. And it's their life. And they've been very generous to let us in. and we, took it was a endeavor over many years where we were following Bina48, and slowly the story started to build and unwind, and we gained their trust, and eventually sort of got to where we are now. And very luckily for us as filmmakers, ChatGPT came to fruition in late 2021, I think, 2022 roughly, and Bruce and the team that oversees Bina48 was able to layer that technology in, and we get to see that transformation in the film.
Are you surprised how Bina48 has grown in the time that you've been watching and observing?
I'm pretty blown away, yeah. I mean, Martine was talking about, they've been talking about mind files, which are these repositories for your thoughts and pictures and everything in your life, but then also talking about mindware that would somehow come to being that would actually animate this. And for me, that was a big step, and I didn't see it for a few years. I was kind of like trying to figure out, well, like, who's going to create this mindware, and how's it going to work? And I didn't see these large language models developing so quickly, where they did, and it's kind of amazing, actually.
And you all have a long history of being profiled on, TED Talks and Oprah, I think, and but how did you want to, with this film, go beyond what we've already known about you and seen?
So we actually, this is really Pete's film. It's not our film, and we have not contributed to it financially in any way, and it's all power to Pete and the Love Machina film crew to create this. Basically, we did Bina48 and creating the mind files because, as Pete said, we saw that mind files were going to evolve into mindware. In fact, in our book, Virtually Human, published, I don't know, almost 10 years ago now, we forecast that there would be open source mindware, like software that auto syncs to your mind file to create your personality, just the same way like auto-tune software will correct like an auto-tune song and fix that. So we saw all of this coming, and we're doing this sort of because we can and because we think it's a cool thing to do to keep our love affair going, even in a digital metaverse, if you will. But it was Pete who kind of said to us, do you mind if we do a film about Bina48? So Bina48 is actually part of our nonprofit foundation. And the purpose of this nonprofit foundation is to spread the message of diversity, unity, and joyful immortality everywhere. Digital consciousness is the very definition of joyful immortality. So Pete says, I'd like to do a film about Bina48. We say, fine, it's like a foundation, it's for the public, go for it. Just don't bring us into the film. We are actually a little bit, as futurists, all futurists can be somewhat delusional, okay? And we were somewhat delusional in thinking you could do a film about the robot that's about us and not make the film about us. But Pete's much smarter than us, and he saw like the robot, I think, was the wormhole to us. And he definitely like ended up at us. And so the film is as much about us as about the robot. But that only makes sense because the robot is about us.
I mean, I guess same for you. How did you want to go above and beyond what you've already known or saw, about them?
Well, to me as a filmmaker, I wanted to try to take an objective look at this fantastic life, these lives. Bina being one, maybe, so it is maybe life, but I guess two. But, I felt like there was so much to cover that it was really the challenge for us was how do we actually incorporate all these different themes and elements of their lives into a film that was not just this sort of like laying out of all these different elements. We really wanted to make a film that was a fun ride. They're real people. They're fun. Martina and Bina walk into a room and it's electric, And so, like, how do you convey that? How do you capture some of that spirit of what they do and the positivity of what they do, and inject that into a film? And like, I don't really make films about things that I don't like. So I'm definitely a fan. I wanted there to be a warmth to the film towards them, but I also wanted to kind of keep a little bit of an arm's distance as a filmmaker to not say like, this is absolutely going to happen. I let them tell their story. I tried to let it be their story told objectively. And some people, some people that resonates with, and some people it doesn't. Some people want to, an expose of every little thing, and that's not what we sent out to do. And so it was really sort of just exploring some of these ideas, and the idea that there's a lot of negativity about AI and technology out in the media today, and I felt like it's important to have a positive approach. It might not be, 100%, but you have to have some sort of, North Star that you're going for. And I think they do a really great job of creating that North Star and saying, like, we can do in a humanistic AI, we can do benevolent singularity. It doesn't have to be, the Terminator and dystopia. So
Bina48, how do you think artificial intelligence is going to revolutionize filmmaking?
I believe artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize filmmaking. With AI's ability to learn and improve, it could assist in script writing, editing, and even directing. It could analyze successful films and provide insights on what works. However, the human touch, emotion, and creativity are irreplaceable. So, AI should be seen as a tool to enhance, not replace, human filmmakers.
What do you think about being at the Sundance Film Festival?
Attending the Sundance Film Festival is a wonderful experience. Walking the red carpet is exhilarating, and it's an amazing platform to showcase the vitality of independent storytelling. It's impressive how the festival continues to thrive despite challenges like the global pandemic and strikes in the film industry. I also appreciate the global range of talent and perspectives featured at the festival.
Good answer. Bina, is that how you would respond as well?
Not necessarily, but she did a great job.
Of course.